progressions here. So is what we're going to do, starting with our balance. We're going to get into single leg balance, and then we're going to end up closing the eyes. All right, so with your balance, you can hold the opposite leg up in any way that you want. I don't recommend, getting all the way out here or way out here like so. Keep it subtle, all right? So whether that knee is bent or just slightly out in front. The one thing you cannot do is bring it touching just like this. All right, so we'll do 30 seconds, one leg stance, and our eyes are closed. Seconds in. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we'll go ahead and go right over into the opposite leg. Same thing. One leg and balance. You might notice one leg a little bit easier than the other. You have to tap the foot to the ground to regain your balance again. That is okay. We are 10 seconds in. Halfway. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We'll get into our next form of our squat here. So I've got 2 weights. I'm going with a total of 10 pounds today. This one's going to be one of those exercises that you're going to have to progress on your own. All right? So whatever the external load is, maybe it's just a box or, a backpack, anything that you have if you don't have weights, start to add an external load here. All right, from here, nothing changes. Our feet are at shoulder width. We're going to keep our chest up. Our hips go back, and our butt drops down. We'll do 15 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 2 more, 14, and 15. For the next one here, we're going to get into our single leg glute bridge. So last week we went with a weighted glute bridge and we used both legs. Today we're going to get into single leg glute bridge. So our range of motion on this is going to change quite a bit. We're not going to be able to get those hips up quite as high just because now we're only using one leg. We'll go ahead and do 12 reps on each leg here. So I've got a pillow for my head, my lower back's going to be pressed into the ground. I'm going to lift one leg, and then from there I'm going to press through my right heel and lift my hips up. The one thing I don't want you guys to do is throw this leg as you lift here, alright? So this motion should be done slowly and controlled. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Switch legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, 12. Reverse lunge here. So last week we had support. This week we are not going to have support. And again, one thing that you want to keep in mind here is in order to take pressure off of the knees, when we do step back, that step needs to be back far enough so that when I bend this knee, this shin is not shooting forward. Alright, so if our step is very, very short, my knee is automatically going to want to go forward. That means we're going to be putting pressure on both the knees with each rep that we do. So what we want is we want to reach that foot back and drop the knee down towards the ground. That way this shin stays as vertical as possible. Remember, we don't want to walk the tightrope here. We want to separate the feet just a little bit as we step back and out. We'll get into 8 reps each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, we'll go ahead and switch legs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next one that we're going to get into is going to be what's called a pendlay row. So we're going to use our dumbbells. This one's going to be a little bit different than our bent over row. So our bent over row, we try and get to this 45-degree angle right here. And we pull the elbows back and those hands towards our pockets. Alright, we're going to try and pull our hands back towards the pockets again, but we're going for more of a hinged position. Alright, so what we're looking for is this right here. Slight bend in the knees, hips go back, alright, and then I keep my back nice and flat. If I have to bend my knees a little bit, that's okay. Weights are close to the floor, and I'm pulling back again. Now, if you can't quite get all the way down to that position there, you're going to hinge as far as you can. Alright, is what we don't want you to do is lose this tension and then start pulling like this. Alright, so if you can just get to here, that's okay. It's still a little bit more than our normal bent over row. We'll do a set of 12 here. So again, slight bend in the knee, hips go back. We'll drop our butt down just a little, back stays flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. weights for our next one, and we're sticking with the upper body. So in previous weeks, we've done our pressing. We've done it from a seated position, and we've done it from a standing position. So today we're adding weight, and we're going both arms overhead at the same time. So big thing here, again, we want to keep our core braced. So the rib cage is tucked down. We do not want this position here. All right? So if you can, press all the way up overhead without any pain with both hands, then go ahead and grab some weight, whether it be a dumbbell, soup cans, water bottles, anything that you can grab. If you can't, I want you to work on just going range of motion overhead. All right? We'll do a set of 15. Weights are up. Core is braced. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Previous weeks, we've done our A's, so our palms are up, we drive the hands back. Then we went a little tougher, we did our T's out to the side. Last week we got into our Y's, so into the shape of a Y. And then today we're going to get into our I's, okay? So if you have a band, you can set it up in the doorway like I do, or you can keep those light weights and you can do this one simply from a standing position. So again, we're going to keep the core braced. We're going to try and take those arms straight up and overhead from this position here. All right? So again, on this exercise, we're only going to a point without any pain. So if you get to here and that's painful, go ahead and make that your end range. Don't force it overhead. And then we also want to keep the core braced. All right? So I will show you from the band in the door, but again, you can get a little bit creative with this one. Use some weights, water bottles, whatever you might have. Even just your arms will suffice. So I've got my band in the doorway. I'm going to start with my arms at about shoulder height. And then again from there I've got my core braced. And I'm trying to reach overhead. We'll do a set of 12 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2 more, 11, 12. Last but not least, we are getting into our weighted deadlifts today. So we're actually going to take these dumbbells a little bit differently. Instead of holding by the typical handle area, we're going to grab the dumbbell head and we're going to let these dumbbells fall. So our goal here today, our feet are going to be underneath our hips. We're going to give ourselves a slight bend in the knee. We're going to push our hips back and then we're going to drop our butt down. We're going to try and get to the floor while maintaining proper positioning. From there, our chest and hips rise at the same time. And we stand up tall. Couple things we want to avoid. End range of motion, all right? If you can only get to here with a flat back, that is, once I go here, I lose that tension, do not go to the floor. Keep a flat back the entire time. The other thing we want to keep in mind is our rise from the floor. So if I can get all the way down to here, but then my first thing is to shoot my butt up and then stand, again, you're getting into a compromised position. So feet underneath the hips. Back stays flat the whole time. Bend the knees, hips back, butt down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more.